Okay, so at this point, the nurse at the front gets a gurney, puts me on it, with several other medical professionals around me, and the first thing they want to do is put me into a hospital gown. So I want to put you into my head. I don't want to be here. I have been sexually assaulted several times, physically assaulted, and now they're trying to strip me of my clothes and put me in a hospital gown. So at my most vulnerable point, they're going to strip me. So I'm fighting this because I just feel so defiled at this point. And they get my shirt off, they get my pants off, and they put me in this gown. And they're talking to me and they're asking me all these questions. I'm in this point where I've just blocked everybody around me out because I'm just looking into my knees like, why am I here? This is not my plan. So after probably 30 minutes, I am a little bit more cooperative. I explained to them what I took and approximately how much. But I have to say the worst process was getting that hospital gown on. I just wanted them to keep me in my clothes. Like, I'm already super uncomfortable. I already hate myself. And now you're stripping me in front of all these people that I don't know. So anyways, they then explained to me that I need to drink charcoal to bring up the drugs to basically reverse what I really wanted to happen. So I had to drink 3 bottles of charcoal. I was in that hospital until they had a medical transportation company come and pick me up and take me to the mental health hospital in our city. I don't want to say all the names. I don't want to put these different hospitals down. So during this car ride from one hospital to the other, I get motion sickness and I puke up those 3 bottles of charcoal and the McDonald's fries that Cora tried to get me to make me happy. So I'm covered in my own puke. And we just arrived to this hospital. So when I get there, I'm put into this lockdown area. And I get a new gown because I had to take off my shirt because it was covered in puke, black puke. And I am put into a padded room. So there's a hallway that is guarded by security guards. And you go down this hallway and there's 6 padded rooms. At this point, there's 4 other men. And then the 6 people share one bathroom. So really unfortunate that my anxiety, I always have to pee. When I have really bad anxiety, I have to pee. So not only I don't have any shoes, so I'm walking into this bathroom sharing with 4 other men in the same situation as me. There's pee all over the floor. It's a jail toilet, so I don't know if you know what a jail toilet is, but it's just a metal seat. There's no lid. So I'm trying my best to cover it in toilet paper. And I had to go pee so many freaking times because I was so anxious. And every time I needed to use the bathroom, I had to knock on the door, ask the security guard. The security guard would say yay or nay, depending if it was being used. Because we couldn't be in the hallway at the same time as other people. So if somebody was leaving one room, I'd have to wait until they were back locked into their room. Anyways, my family came to visit me. And then, visiting time was over and it was time for me to go to bed. So this room, basically, it has a hospital bed, but not a regular one. It almost looks like a massage bed because they don't give you anything in this room that could be used as a weapon of any way, basically. So it's just a flat padded bed with padded walls and padded floor. And then there's a security camera that the security guard's watching us. So I went to the bathroom a handful of times in this disgusting area. And then I go to bed. My family goes home. 2 a.m. I am woken up by a doctor and a resident. And I'm like refusing to wake up. I'm like, okay, I finally got to bed in this extremely uncomfortable room, and now you're waking me up. This lady says to me, you have a 40% chance of going home if you answer my questions correctly. Yes, you just heard me right. So, finally get up. Being a child and youth worker, my head goes off if I answer these questions correctly. So now I know that she's telling me basically, answer them the way I want to hear it. So she asked me a handful of questions. If we release you, will you try to harm yourself? Do you have a plan? If we release you, are you going home to somebody? Blah, blah, blah. So after 10 questions, I passed the test. They release me alone with no shoes, and I don't have a shirt. So a nurse runs around the hospital, and she finds me a shirt. It doesn't fit me. It's see-through, but it's a shirt. And they say, you're good to go. So less than 12 hours ago, I have downed an entire bottle of Aleve. They are now releasing me alone. They point me towards the door, and they say there's taxi phone numbers right there. I walk out of this hospital with basically a belly shirt, no shoes, alone after committing suicide less than 12 hours previous. I get back to the apartment, buzz Corey, who thinks I've just escaped from the psych ward, asking him to pay for my cab. At this point, I was given CMHA transitional worker. If you don't call this lady within 6 days, you're written off their case file. So, I was not hospitalized. I was released within 24 hours. And I took 1 week off of work and then went back to work because I thought, you know what? I'm good. I can handle it. If they didn't care, why should I care about myself? So, I don't know. I just found that a really negative experience that, I was released, and less than a year later, I was back in the exact same situation. And I thought, wow, was that really professionally appropriate for her to say to me if I answer these questions correctly that you have a 40% chance of leaving here? Because I could have gotten that cab and jumped off a bridge. I didn't. But that is how easy it is to slip through our system. I was given a referral after that to go to group therapy. My referral didn't make it past the lady who wrote the referral. A month later, I called and I said, I've never received a call about group therapy. She chuckles and says, oh, it's still in my file. I never gave it to the coordinator. You find that funny? I'm here suffering. And not only have I slipped through the system once, now twice. You didn't even send my referral. You're laughing that it's still in your folder and that it was never sent out. My CMHA transitional worker, she's gone. I saw her once or twice. If you don't call enough, they don't care. They have 50,000 people on their caseload. It's easier for them to close your file than it is to follow you. She went to maybe two appointments with me, and they decided I was good enough. I was fine. I'm not. So that was my experience first time in the hospital.